showing you how to make a cookie cake recipe. To start out with, we're going to be using 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. I've already pre-measured all the ingredients so they're easier to handle, but I'll go through how much I'm adding. To the 1 cup, 1 tablespoon all-purpose flour, we'll be adding 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We want to blend those evenly so it's easily distributed in it. The purpose behind the all-purpose flour is it's used because it helps keep the shape of the dough because it is a stable compound. Bread flour has too much protein and cake has too much starch. This makes them both have too much gluten in their products, where all-purpose flour just creates the right amount. That way the product's not easily chewy. And then we're going to set that aside. Next we're going to cream together 3/4 cup of margarine set at room temperature here in the blender, along with 1/2 cup of brown sugar. The purpose behind creaming the margarine and sugar is it allows the sugar to dissolve and be covered with the lipid. This slows the rate of moisture absorption. By creaming, you also are incorporating more air, making the overall texture and consistency of the cookie better. Margarine is also a good emulsifier, and a lipid helps prevent the disqualified bonding. This is important in the cookie recipe because you want to shorten the bond, otherwise it will have a ton more aeration. Going back to the baking soda that's used in the flour, baking soda is used because it diffuses the acidity of the brown sugar and chocolate chips in the recipe. Both of these are acidic. Therefore, basically it neutralizes the acid stuff and creates air bubbles of carbon dioxide, aerating the batter and making it fluffier. Baking soda is also the leveling agent in this recipe. Once your sugar and butter are creamed together, you're going to add 1 egg. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're going to keep mixing them. Eggs are the binding agent in this recipe and the liquid. When only eggs are used as liquid, it lets the recipe become puffier and more cake-like. Vanilla just kind of adds flavor and more liquid to the batter. Once all this is mixed up, we're going to be adding the flour concoction. Our oven is set to 325, which is a lower temperature than normal baking. However, it helps the dough spread out more. What do you want? Now we're going to be adding the flour in. Once this is all mixed, this should make the batter fluffier and more aerated. Baking soda also helps the cookies cook, or the cookie cake cook faster and brown more. Now that that's all mixed up, you can definitely see a difference as it is much thicker and fluffier. Now we're just adding the chocolate chips. And we're going to fold those into the batter. You can add any kind of extras, however, chocolate is acidic, so that's why baking soda is used. Depending on what your extra is, will depend on whether you use baking soda or baking powder. Okay, now that those are all mixed, I'm going to spread it into my pre-greased pie pan. The grease helps keep the dough from sticking to the pan. This is because of the oil in the grease. And spread it out like so. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's a cookie. However, it will spread out slightly more, but not a ton. This will bake for 20 to 30 minutes in the oven at 325.